Hey, welcome to my channel. It's Ford, I'm back and I'm zipping through some trails on my Lynx just to start the morning off and give myself that workout. I said I'd come back to these trails with the Lynx and it's the day I've had some time to do that. So I'm also running the Insta 360 X4 on this trip. So yeah, hopefully I don't smash the camera on the first run out. Yeah, big shout out to INMOTION because they helped me get this camera. They compensated me because I had an issue a while back with my Insta X3 due to some dodgy firmware. We'll just have a quick run today, see how this holds up in the same trails I've been doing the V14 over lately. Here's the first one here, so I'll just have a little look. Initially, for just that first section, it does take a little bit more work than that V14. The V14's a bit smaller and you notice that it kind of creeps through all this stuff a little easier. It's a bit more easy to twitch it around and give it a quick flick if you're offline and need to correct yourself. But I might also just need to get used to this wheel again for a couple of rolls and maybe tweak how I've got it set up. So I'll just keep jamming away. So I've just got to get used to this wheel again first. It's a little bit bigger to throw around these trails than the V14, and you've also got that big kickstand on the back to watch out for getting caught up in this stuff. So I'll just have a bit of a test run first and see how the wheel holds itself. It's also, you know, I haven't really dirtied up this wheel yet much, so I don't want to scratch it up just yet either. And then I don't want my axles to fall apart or any of the motor bolts to come out. You know, I saw Shibby having a bit of a rough time with his, and yeah, people are looking at that now, aren't they, trying to figure out what's going on. So yeah, hopefully none of those things happen and we just have a nice little day out. I'm using the Grizzla pads set up on my wheel. I've got the Grizzla flow pads. I've also got the Grizzla kit, which has the seat and lower bumpers just to protect the suspension, and it works really well. I guess we'll see today how it holds up in this stuff. Yeah, cool. Alright, thanks again. I'll shut up and try to find my feet with this place. I thought also today I could chat. Someone asked about how my gear's holding up, and you know, I thought I could do a whole video on that, but I'll just try to chuck it into this one, which, you know, maybe gives us something to talk about while I'm doing this. It's a beautiful thing to just be able to adjust things easily, and these jump pads down here, I just needed to give myself a little bit more to hook myself in. So I can just undo the little wing nut here. This is using the Grizzla kit. It has the jump pad, which just gives you a little bit more foot room. It's got just slightly wider than the standard Lynx jump pad. You know, your setup on the trails can just be fine-tuned easily when you've got this kind of pad set up. So I find a bit more relaxed feel on the street, but when I get in here, I just want to tighten myself up. And I've noticed with the Lynx, compared to the V14, it just feels it needs a little bit more control. Like, it's just taller, and you need to keep those shins locked into it to be able to, to be able to pick it up and hold on to it. Whereas the V14 is just a little bit lighter, I guess. And it's a little bit wider, it feels, so the pedal clip, you just feel like there's more chance of that happening. These are tight trails though, but yeah, holding up really well. I've just got my suspension pretty cushy actually. I could probably firm things up quite a bit. I think I've got some tools in the car and I can do that. That is one thing that I do prefer on the V14. I can just twist the knobs and I don't need to carry any tools. So yeah, they each have their little differences, but man, they're both really capable. So much more than, you know, my V11 and my V13 ever was for this sort of stuff. keeps you feeling alive to do this. Good way to wake up. You know, both wheels could really do with a good set of pedals. These do the job, but the spikes just aren't there, you know. Yeah, both the pedals on the wheels are a little bit slippy. They don't really give you the grip that I would like when I'm floating through this stuff. So, you know, if you're going to do an upgrade and consider, I'd say pads definitely first of all, but then pedals are probably the next thing. And if you're into this stuff, you know, I know Lynx has got a trail kit coming for the Lynx, so you can really protect your wheel a lot more than it is. Just bumpers and, yeah, the extra protection like down here on my suspension. And I'll be able to keep an eye on how that's been marked up. This wheel was pretty much brand new, you know, condition before this. So we'll have a look today and see how it fares. I've got 500 kilometers on the wheel and that's all. It's just because I've had a few wheels to choose from. And yeah, I've been keeping this one as a bit of my first class wheel. But there's no point babying everything when it can do this. You know, get it, you're spending the money. Use it for everything it can do. My feet are sore, so I've got this on a hard mode at the moment. Might just need to soften up my pedals. But then, you know, you get that when you switch between different wheels as well. So I think it could just be the fact that I've switched up from the V14 recently, slightly smaller, and it's just a different setup. Yeah, I'm already really buggered. It's a really good workout. I think this is probably more of a workout than the V14 was. And it's just a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger tyre, which is just a little bit heftier to move around. Same thing, don't know where I am. I'm still finding these trails and I'm just coming across corners and seeing what the wheel will do. And it's gone over everything. Goes up hills, down hills, over rocks, jumps, bumps. But yeah, both of these wheels will do the job in the trails. Both of them probably need an upgraded set of pedals. Yeah, heaps of torque, good wheel, good tyre, good enough grip, even in this loose, muddy stuff. I'm keeping up. But yeah, I'll quickly go over some of my gear like I mentioned. Since I've started rolling, haven't really had to upgrade much of my kit. And the reason I use the Shoei helmets is comfort, they're light, but I can also really mute the world out, especially for doing my commentaries. So I know that I'm protected. It's got a good, strong rated visor, and it's also got a strong rated helmet. So yeah, I then upgraded my knee braces and I went for the LEAPERKIM knee brace because I wanted to try to prevent a bit of that twist injury that can happen. Yeah, I've got these CRX Alpine Stars boots. This is the first set that I bought and I've rolled for a couple of wheels, had a big crash on the V13. That's why they're a little bit worn in those areas where I was just sliding down the cement. That's on a video. If you go back, you can see how they held up and how my gears held up. I've had a lot of crashes and the knee braces have held up perfect. I haven't had to replace them. I had to replace the Velcro, so I sewed that on around the back. But other than that, they've taken heaps of abuse. And they're great for me. They work. And so far I haven't twisted my knees, so whether that's because of these or I've just been lucky, not too sure. So I got this body armor, and it's the Airfit Light, the LEAPERKIM Airfit Light. It's really light stuff. It kind of feels just like a really strong rubber, which is the padding. And you can wear it underneath a shirt, and you get away with it. And that's held up for all of my crashes as well and protected me. So it comes, this particular piece has elbow pads, shoulder pads, you've got a kidney guard and a back guard on that, as well as some really, it's kind of just tough material that will take a bit of a beating. So I think if you buy good gear and keep an eye on it, it's going to hold up. You do want good gear. You know, I do like to just go casual and roll without anything, but unfortunately these wheels are still in a bit of a learning phase, prototype. The first batches, you know, things like the axles breaking or just firmware issues. Some people have just had this interference kind of thing happening. You're best to just play it a bit safe until you know. Trust your wheel, get some kilometers down on it. And even then, just you have a bad day, bad roll, and yeah, you're in trouble. So keep your gear on, get some good gear. So yeah, anyway, all right, that's me done for the day. I'm buggered. My axle didn't shear. I'll go back and piece all this together into some kind of watchable thing. And you know, comparing them with the V14, they're both awesome. in this stuff, and gotta say, I wouldn't be complaining if I owned either. I was just talking about my gear and I forgot about my gloves, and then I just went to put my gloves on and they fell apart in my hand. They're pretty rough. I've had these for years. Yeah. So it's probably time I upgrade my gloves. But what I do want is some good knuckle protection, finger protection. You know, these aren't cheap gloves as well, even though they look like that. But yeah, they packed it in, so that's probably something I'm going to save up for now. So I've had another really good fun day, really good workout, and you know, getting to know my wheels again in a new way. I really love my Grizzla pads. They make me feel comfortable on all my wheels because it's what I'm used to rolling on. So you can quickly sort of find your feet again with another wheel, and yeah, it's always a little bit different. You know, this feels different, and I'm a lot more comfortable now than I was when I first started rolling today. It felt a little bit sketchy, to be honest, because it was bigger and I kind of wanted my V14, but no, this is fine. You know, this is a really surprising wheel because it's so light. You know, it surprises you because this wheel is, you know, a little bit bigger. It's still so light. Oh, well, I've had a few scratches on the Lynx today. I've kind of worn off that nice new finish. Yeah, I've worn off that new car smell. Yeah, I had another great video today. I hope I showed you something on the Lynx. If you're considering this or the V14, they're both really good for this. You can go and watch a few of my other videos. What I'm learning about both these wheels are they're both really capable for street, really capable for this off-road stuff, and they're really good premium wheels. You know, you're paying that price, but they're delivering in suspension, delivering in their torque and their battery configurations, you know, giving you options to be able to step it up to 50S and pimp out your ride a bit more. So I guess that's what you're paying for with these premium prices, is that extra level of quality and customization. You know, I'm so happy I've got a choice of both these wheels because they both really hold up for this stuff, and they're both really giving me a bunch of fun and helping me to learn my EUCs and understand how different wheels feel and roll. But I just don't think I've dialed myself in on this wheel for the trails as much. My pads are a little bit loose and, you know, the suspension needs to be a little firmer. But for a first run in the trails, man, I've had a ball and I think it's really capable. I'll look back at some of the footage and I really put it over a couple of nice jumps and tried to get some speed up. Again, these are different trails than I'm used to and run. But yeah, anyway, this is, I said I'd get back over here with the Lynx. I covered a little bit of gear. I would hate to choose. Like, I guess that's really why I ended up with both wheels, because I did hate to choose. I knew both these wheels would be super good wheels for the trails and for street, and just for, you know, this year they'd be really the wheels to beat. And man, they're really good. You know, lean in, and man, this thing just goes, doesn't it? If you've got a Lynx, you know it goes. It goes so well. Yeah, cool. Anyway, that's another video, I guess. Thanks for watching. I'll try to wrap it up and keep it quick. Hopefully it inspires you anyway to get out or get a wheel or get out on your bike, whatever you've got. Man, get out and do this. Sometimes I have to push myself. You know, we all have them days. But when I do, I'm so happy that I've got this as a choice in my life. Get yourself a wheel or a hobby and get out and do it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching another video. I'll see you next time. I'm Fortin back. Bye for now.